Alright, we're creating circle graphs, and how you're going to go about creating a circle graph is, first of all, a graph that shows data as parts of a whole. Okay, so a circle graph represents 100% and it's 360 degrees. Okay, we've talked about how a circle makes up 100% already, dealing with fractions and decimals and percentages. And we always represent it by saying that it's basically a pizza and creating our different slices of that pizza and how they would represent and so forth. And that's what a circle graph is going to look like, and we'll put our percentages in for each one of these. So let's look at creating this. And first of all, it says, in a survey, a group of middle school students was asked to name their favorite sport. Make a circle graph of that particular data. So the first thing that you have to do is create a circle. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Here's my circle. And now it's a matter of trying to graph that. Well, before we can graph it, we have to remember that there's 360 degrees in that complete circle. So it's going to be 30% of 360, 25% of 360, and so on. Okay, this is not a 5. That should probably be, I'm guessing, 22, maybe 22.5. I'd have to add these percentages up, so I'll do that here real quick and make that change. All right, so that's 22%, and so it's 22% of 360, 8% of 360, and 15% of 360. So now we're going to literally solve that. Remember, the word of means multiply. So to do that, we're going to take 30%, which is going to be 0.30 times 360. And you'll do that for each one of these. So 0.25 times 360, 0.22 times 360, and 0.08 times 360, and then 0.15 times 360. And we're then going to get an answer. So go ahead and solve that, and then we'll put our answers into that. So when we multiply this together, you're going to get 108. The next one, 360 times 0.25, and you get 90. Then 0.22 times 360 is 79.2. And then 0.08 times 360 is going to give me 28.8. And then 0.15 times 360 is 54. Now, if you add all of these 5 together, what should it add up to? 360 degrees, because 360 degrees, when we add all these percentages up, equals 100%. Okay, what we had to do was find out what that percentage of 360 degrees was, which is 108 degrees. That's when we're going to use our protractor to be able to find exactly how many degrees make up that particular circle. So now you're going to take that protractor, and we're going to start out by drawing a line. Start anywhere, and you're going to start right here in the middle. Draw your line to the outside, and now you can move this protractor. We'll line it up, 108 degrees, and my 108, I see, since it's greater than 90, is going to be right here. So I put a dot, move it out of the way, and draw then a line to that point. So that's going to be 108 degrees. 90 degrees. Okay, now you can build off of this. You can go either direction that you want. Okay, this is 108 degrees. Okay, now we're not going to literally write 108 degrees. What we need to actually write is 30%. Okay, and that it is football. So now I have 90 degrees. Okay, and you can use your protractor for this. I already know what my 90 degrees is going to look like, so I'm going to literally build it off of it so it looks like this. That's 90 degrees, so that's going to be my 25%, and that's basketball. And then I have 79 degrees. And again, you can round these. I would round them to the nearest whole. So this is going to be 79 degrees. So now I can build off of this however you want. You can go either way. I'm going to work off of that line right here, which is this. And 79 degrees is going to give me a dot right there. So then you can move that out of the way and use a straight edge, and 79 degrees. I'm trying to see where my dot was. There it is. It was right there. And that's again going to be 22% baseball. And then my next one, put your protractor back up there, and you will then need to build off of the next line, which is going to be that one. And that is 8 degrees. You can do 8 or you can do 15 for that matters. 15 might be, I'm sorry, I said 8 degrees, that's 8%. 28, which I'm going to round that to 29.9, or excuse me, 29 because of that 8. So 29 degrees, or you can use your 54 degrees. I'll just go with my 29 degrees, and 29 is going to put me right here. Move that out of the way, and straight edge to my 29 is going to put me right there. And again, you can type write in here 8%, and that was tennis. And this one is going to be 15% other. Okay, that is what how you're going to draw that. That's why we have to find the percent of the actual 360 degrees to get that degree. And then it's a matter of just dividing it all up and building off of each wedge. Okay, let's look at doing the next one. It says now, it says Gina has the following types of movies in her DVD collection. Make a circle graph of the data. Okay, so types of movie: action, comedy, science fiction. You're only going to have, since there are 3 sections, you're only going to have 3 items to divide up into your circle. So now what the issue is with this is that we don't have a percentage. These are not percentages, they are numbers. So we have to find the percent of them. So how do you do that? We need to add them up. So we get 9, carry the 1, we get 10, 11. So 119, we've got to find the percentage of that. So it's going to be 24 over 119, 15 over 119, and 7 over 119. Okay, I'm sorry, we've got that all messed up. My apologies. I knew something wasn't right. We need to add correctly. This needs to be lined up with this when we add it together. So get my 7 over here, add this up, and we end up getting 12 plus 4 more is 16. And carry the 1, and we get 46. That makes a lot more sense. So 24 over 46, 15 over 46, and 7 over 46. 0.6. Now we need to write that as a decimal point or the percentage, which since we're writing as a decimal anyhow, we'll just leave it that way. So 24 divided by 46 is going to give me 0.52. You're going to round it to the nearest hundredths. So 0.52, that's 52%. Then we have 15 divided by 46, and that's going to give me 33%, so 0.33. And then 7 divided by 46, and that's going to give me 15%, 0.15. Now when I add these together, and I get 52 plus 33 plus 15, you'll see that they add up to 100%. Now sometimes it will be off by maybe 1% or so on the high end or the low end. That is okay because we're rounding. But that does add up to 100%. So now we've got to find out what 52% of, meaning times, 360 is. Always have to multiply it by 360 because that's going to then give us the actual number that we need for our protractor. In this case, it's 180 since it's greater than 50%. This gives me 187 degrees. 0.33 times 360 gives me 119, and again I'm rounding, 119 degrees, and then 0.15 times 360 equals 54 degrees. Now, how are we going to create a 187 degree angle? Well, my suggestion is let's do the other two, and what's remaining will be my 187 degrees. So let's start with 119. I'm going to lay it up here, and my 119 is going to be over in this area, which is going to be about right here. And then draw your line to that line. So there's 119. And then 54 degrees. We'll build off of that. And you'll get, whoops, we got to turn this. I'll just flip it upside down, make it a little bit easier so that I can get to it. So this, and I'm going to work off of that right there, and I get 54 degrees. So 54 is going to be about right here. And draw my line to there. Now, as you look at this, okay, 187 degrees, my straight line would probably go all the way out to about right here, okay? This is greater than, this part right here, greater than, it should be 7 degrees larger than that 180, okay? That's how it bends backwards, okay? So we need to label these then, and since this is going to be my largest, this is action, and it is going to represent 52%. This one here, my second largest, is going to be comedy, and that is going to be my 33%. And sci-fi is going to be, looks like 15%. And that is how you are going to divide those up. Probably the one thing that you have to be very careful with is that when we write these numbers over here, that we don't get those mixed up as our percentages, okay? That they're written, these decimals are representing our percents, okay? And the difference between this one and the other one is that they gave us, on the last one, the percentages they gave us, these we had to find the percent because these are the actual numbers. So you'd have to add them up first and find the fraction of them to get the decimal point. Okay. Not real difficult, but it certainly does a lot of review of converting from fractions to percents and so forth, and using that protractor. So have a great day, and we'll talk more about it tomorrow.